are live.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're live. James,
Nick,
what's today's topic again? Just tell me.
do you dread walking into your own salon for the
I don't anymore. Thanks for asking. But I bet you a lot of you do. So today we're going to talk about, do you dread walking in your own salon? And it's a reality for a lot of owners because they were never clear on their vision. They didn't set a clear standard. They didn't have the hard conversations. And a lot of times they're just too nice. And it's not a bad thing to be nice, honestly. Like working for a really nice person is amazing. But the problem is when you're too nice, a lot of times you're not nice to the person who matters, which is yourself, and you don't speak your mind to your team, and then you bottle everything up inside, and then you're frustrated. Then too much time goes on in between you not holding everyone to the same standard that you hold yourself to, or some people to. And so we're going to discuss a couple different things that are going to help you like get your salon back to a place where you actually like walking into your own salon again. And for the non-alpha females out there and the non-alpha males, this is a tough thing because you don't like being the boss, but yet you own a salon and you let people kind of walk all over you. So it's not a bad thing to be like in charge. It's like I'm not saying micromanage people. I'm not saying be the boss, right? Lead by example and then hold people, be a mentor, be the coach of your team and hold them to a standard. Your job as the owner is not to be the employer, it's to be the mentor. And so if you set a standard in your salon, a standard of excellence, make sure everyone is meeting that standard. And if they don't feel bad for them, coach them up. And if they can't meet that standard, it may not be the right salon for them. And when I say the standard, I mean, if you have a standard of showing up 15 minutes early for every client, but there's one person who just always comes in late every single time, what begins to happen, if you allow that to happen, is the other people, they start showing up late. But here's the difference. That one particular person, you don't feed new clients to anymore. So it's like you kind of let them go. It's like, they have their own clientele. They bring in a lot of money. She's always late. I'm just going to let her do her thing. Well, then the other stylist, who let's call her Nicole, she's trying to build up. So she thinks it's okay. So she starts coming late. But then her client's sitting there waiting for her. And her client gets aggravated. And then it's a really bad look on the salon because it's a new client. It's a first-time client. And that client's like, hey, what kind of operation you guys running here? Whereas the other person might have been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years. Her clientele is her clientele. They're used to it. Not that that's an excuse by any means. Don't let me like sugarcoat this. It's different. But the problem is the other stylist doesn't recognize that. I recognize that, but the other stylist won't. And then what begins to happen is everyone starts coming in a little late. It's okay because that person does it. Same thing with dress code. I'm not a big dress code guy. Like my dress code, when I have my initial interview, honestly, it's don't look like shit. That's it. Just don't look like shit. Have your own style, be artistic, like have your artistic expression come out through your clothes. I'm cool with that. Just don't look like shit. Don't look like you're going to the gym. And so these standards you need to hold because what happens when you don't, things start falling apart and then you actually hate walking in your own salon again. Whether it's coming in late, whether it's you bending over backwards for people and you're not holding people to their position agreement that you set with them on their initial interview process. So I unpacked a little bit just now, but we're going to take you through the whole ropes of what you do. So if you're in a position right now where you're like, I fucking hate going to work every day and it's your salon, you have to fix it ASAP because that's not why you started your own salon. You left the salon because you hated going to work, probably. Now you own your own salon and now you hate going to work again. Here's the best part about it. You can fix it because you own it. So step one, I want you to get clear on what your vision was and what your vision is for your salon. I want you to really sit down with a pen and paper or an iPad, whatever you do. And I want you to ask yourself a couple questions about where do you want your salon in 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years from now? What is your ideal team member? What do they look like? How do they speak to you? How do they dress? How do they show up? I want you to, there's a core values worksheet. You guys probably don't have it. DM me core values on Instagram. I'll send it over to you. It's a list of different words like integrity, honor, faith, passion, commitment. And I think there's like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, like 60 different core values. I want you to pick your top 8 and top 5 to 8, let's say. And I want you to get clear on what your core values are. See, your vision and your mission statement, that's why you do hair. That's why you open a salon. Your core values is how you do it. So I created a salon that's going to be free and artistic and empower women in my community, right? That's your vision. Beautiful. How you do it is with honor, faith, passion, teamwork, hard work. Like those are your core values. So the why and the how, get clear on those right away. Next thing I want you to do is I want you to create a culture contract. How do you want your operate to function from a culture standpoint? Do you have a standard you set when someone has a problem with somebody? How do you handle that? What needs to happen? Who do they need to speak to? How do you dress? Like, what is the culture in your salon? Is everyone positive? Do you allow no negative talk? Me, I base my culture on the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. That means you don't speak. Technically in the book, they say speak without sin. And when they break down the word sin, it means you don't gossip, essentially. You don't speak negatively about yourself or other people. So it's never like, I'm so fat, I'm so stupid, I'm dumb. Never ever say that. So you want to teach that to your team because that just brings everyone's vibration down when you have one person's vibration down. But then on the flip side, you never say that person's so stupid, they're annoying, they're fat, they suck at hair. And you don't ever want gossip. She's a bitch. You don't ever want any of that. That's the first thing that will ruin your culture. So that's step 1. Next thing is don't take anything personal. Like, listen, when I hire somebody, I go over to 4 agreements. This is how I built my culture contract. So I'm giving you guys the lowdown here. Then don't make assumptions. Don't assume that because that client's sitting in that person's chair, they stole them, or they might just be friends with their cousin and they saw them at a barbecue and you were booked that day. So they booked an appointment with them. Like, don't make assumptions. Number 4 is always do your best. Always do your best by showing up 100% yourself for that day. And every day your 100% might vary. Always do your best following the first 3 agreements by not gossiping. Don't take things personal and don't make assumptions. Always do your best. And then you build your culture contract around how you want the culture in your salon to be. Do you help each other out? Do people chip in when they're done with work to make sure that the assistant has support? All of that. Figure out what that is, create that contract, and that's part number 2. Part number 3 is position agreements. I want you guys to create an agreement for yourself as the owner, an agreement for the stylist, an agreement for the assistant, an agreement for the front desk, and an agreement for every particular role in your salon. This way, the person who does that role knows exactly what they need to do, what their definition of success is, and how you are going to measure success in that role. Like, find a KPI to attach to the result that they're due. Like, tie a KPI to a result of them being successful. So if it's a social media marketing person, right, you take your assistant and you'd have her handle your social media. Success is 10 new clients every week off of Instagram, or 5. That's how you measure success in that role. Now, on top of that is we have to post 5 times a week, 3 stories a day, like layer it out for them. What does that position entail? When do they work? What hours do they work? And every single thing, every single detail. This way, they're not like lost. You as an owner, create your position agreement. As a stylist, showing up 15 minutes early, making sure that you have the proper tools that you need. You're not stealing someone's brush. Put this in the position agreement, because a lot of times things go missing in a salon. No one knows what happened to someone's shears or someone's brush, and someone borrowed it because they forgot theirs. Like, put it in the position agreement. It's part of the culture. Then you have all that dialed in. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have a meeting with everybody, and you're going to learn everyone else's core values. So you could now find out where they stand. And you're going to let everyone know what the salon stands for. You're going to hand out the culture contract. You're going to hand out the position agreement, and you're going to realign everybody on what your vision is. Then on your one-on-ones, you want to find out what every person's vision is for their career. Then you want to show them how your salon is the vehicle to help them achieve it. And that if we follow this culture contract and you live up to your end of the deal, and you also have to tell them you're going to live up to your end of the deal as an owner, you get everybody aligned on the same page. So you get everybody in the same boat, rowing in the same direction. This way you get to your destination of success much faster. And then you actually probably love going to your salon again. Any person who's in that boat, who's rowing left while the rest is rolling right, you throw them overboard. They got to get out. It's going to screw everything up for you. That's how you got in this mess in the first place. Now, whenever you have a team and they want to add something to the salon, their own personal flavor, if it doesn't align with your vision, you have to learn this crazy word. Only 2 letters. It's no. Let them know, sorry, it doesn't align with how we do things in our salon. I would love you to open up your own salon if that's what you want. Like, you get these people who always like have their 2 cents they want to put in. And they're always like busting their balls about like, hey, we got to get a new color line. Hey, we got to get this. Hey, I'm going to sell more retail. This is the best one. Your team members come to you. We got to get this new product line in. It's the best one. They saw a TikToker talk about it. Their client came in and said, oh my God, I love this shampoo. My cousin got it. My sister got it. You got to get it in here. It's so good. Then you go, you spend $15,000 or $8,000 on an intro deal. And now you have a new product line that sits on your shelf that doesn't sell. Come on, learn the word no. So here's what I like to do, because I just had the conversation this morning with somebody. If they want a new product line, you could just tell them, hey, I want you to create content. I'm going to order a few products for you. What I want you to do is go on social media. I want you to do a product review on each one of the items that you wanted to try. We're going to link it to our Shopify store. If it sells through your content, I'm going to give you a commission on it. But after we sell X amount of dollars in revenue of this new product line off your content, then we'll bring it into the salon. Get the whole team behind it. That's how we are going to bring a new product line to my salon. So if you guys don't have a Shopify store, get on one so you can link it to the Instagram and the TikTok and the Facebook. And that way, when they create content, you can move the products before you even have them in stock, order from your distributor, ship it out. And now the product line is already moving. Rather than you order it now, you have all this inventory that doesn't sell. Now you're beat and you're out of like 8 to 15 grand, whatever the intro deals. So that's a little nugget of info for you on how you could strategize bringing in a new product line. But you want to make sure that if it's not a hell yes, if it doesn't align with your vision, then it's got to be a no. And let them know. Have the hard conversation. Hey, Jen, I love that idea. I think it's a brilliant idea. But right now, what we're focused on is really doing this, this, and this. And not that that's a bad idea. It just doesn't align with my vision of what I had for the salon. Doesn't mean it's a bad idea. It just doesn't align with where I want to take the salon to right now. We can revisit it in a year if you want. So how you do that is with objectives and key results. So you want to make sure that your team knows what your objective is for the salon. Where are you at now? Are you in phase 1 of your vision, phase 2 of your vision, phase 3 of your vision? And then this way, everybody knows what's going on in your salon. No one's gossiping. No one's left to think and imagine what the hell the owner's thinking about now and what they're doing now, because everyone's crystal clear on your vision, your mission, and your core values. So guys, I hope that helped kind of realign your salon and making you feel like you actually love going to work again. If there's a person in your salon who just you don't like, you don't have to work with them. I bet you if you don't like them, the rest of the team doesn't like them. So do a whole rehiring process, re-interview every single person. Make sure you're doing the things like posting on social media regularly, creating a personal brand as an owner, so other stylists are reaching out to you to join your team. And then this way, you have an influx of people wanting to join your team. So the people who don't align right now with your team, who maybe once did, they can go. They could open up their own salon. They can go to the salon down the street. You don't need to be held hostage in your salon. And this isn't just for owners. If you work in a salon and it doesn't align with your vision anymore, then it's time for you to leave. Maybe time to open up your own salon. Maybe time to find a salon that actually aligns with your vision. I lose people all the time in my salons. It's not personal. It's just maybe they're not hungry enough to work in my salon anymore. It's not easy because I give a lot of freedom and I want people who want it. And if you just want to skate by and like make 40% commission and not be hungry, not post to social media, not build a career, I really don't want you on my team. I want people who want to build a brand, build a career, like who show up every day, like they own their chair. They own that part of their book. That column is theirs. That's who I want. And that's not for everybody. So they could go work in the salon and be an employee. I want like winners. I want killers behind the chair. So James, we're going to jump into some Q&A. Guys, if you got questions, if you're struggling right now with a part of your salon, you're like, oh, how do I fix this one thing? Do me a favor. drop it in the comments below. James is going to read it to me. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in some Q&A right now. For those of you who are really struggling right now, and you might have the perfect culture, you might have the most amazing salon, but you're like, I'm just kind of lost right now because I'm really busy and I don't understand why I don't have any profits, or you can't take a vacation because you have no systems in place for your salon to function without you. Do me a favor, go to nickmirabella.com, click on the coaching tab, and then you can learn about how I can help you achieve that vision that you had when you first opened the salon, so you can actually love owning your salon, love being an owner. The one mindset shift I'm going to give you while James is loading up the questions for us is, if you just change your identity, like who you identify with as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, that's like the first step. You're no longer a hairstylist that owns a salon. You're a salon owner that might also do hair. I think I said that a couple of times this week already, but I mean it. It's why it's so powerful. That's why I keep saying it. If you can change your identity, like step into the role of the person you need to become, eventually you start changing your habits. You start showing up differently. You start walking a little taller. Your team starts to respect you a little more. You start saying no because it doesn't align with your vision that you're crystal clear on. You will start honestly creating the salon of your dreams. All right, James, give me a question.
The blabatory. Wait, so this is normal to feel this way even when business is good, because we're booked out 6 weeks and I still hate it.
Yeah, 100%. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're productive growing the business. And so that could be you. You might just have you might just be also attracting the wrong clientele. Guys, it isn't just about stylist. Like, look at your messaging. When you start bringing in clients, you're so busy. It's because you're probably doing everything anyway. If you're an owner, you're booked out 6 weeks. Is every person dialed in with what they need to do for the salon? Are you picking up the slack for everybody? Because the busier you get, like the busier salon gets, shouldn't mean you get busier. You should actually get more free if you have everything structured properly. Like when my salons were the busiest, like it was awesome. Like I have more money coming in and I could pay more people to do more things. And then I'm actually have a clear head to take a look at everything from the data to the numbers to the clientele to my stylist to their numbers. And now I can be like, oh wow, we're on track. Well, I don't like the direction we're going into. And then we could pivot. But you need to have enough capacity in your ability to think and observe your salon to connect it with the vision to make sure you know you're on path again. But the problem is when you're busy behind the chair, you're busy putting out fires, there's nothing left of your thought capacity at the end of the day. You have no bandwidth left. So that's why it's so important to step away from behind the chair, just to think. Like the one thing about being an owner that sucks, if you're like a real go-getter and you like working, like you're an operator, is the lack of fulfillment of a hard day's work, right? Like that was the hardest thing for me to understand because I was a power booker. Like I fucking crushed it behind the chair. Now as a leader, it's like I have to go in there and talk to people and make sure I'm serving them from a leadership standpoint. And a lot of times it's not like it's mentally hard having these conversations, but physically, like I'm not exhausted. My feet don't hurt. My back doesn't hurt anymore. That part's beautiful. But it's like when you get done with work, you're like, what did I actually get done today? You did a lot today because you empowered your team. That's part of being an entrepreneur and a leader. So if you don't want to do that and you want to be busy behind the chair, then hire a manager or a CEO of your own salon to do it. But yeah, it's 100% normal to feel that way. James.
Michelle Torres, Nick, I haven't taken a real vacation in 3 years because I don't trust anybody to run things. Is that my fault or theirs?
That's 100% your fault. 80% done by somebody else is 100% awesome. Dan Martell, thank you for that quote. So here's what you need to do, Michelle. A, join my community so you can learn all this shit. B, do the camcorder method. Film every single aspect of your salon, from the Wi-Fi to the front desk to when you walk in your salon, to open the door, put the key in the door, turn it left, turn it right. Here's the light switch. Film it all. Document everything. Put it in a video format. Throw it in a Google Drive. Have one of your assistants or your front desk organize it for you. Put it in the chat GPT and build your own GPT model so they can ask that instead of asking you while you're on vacation. Document and systemize every single aspect, to a clogged toilet, to where the plunger is, to how you do it, to a leak in the sink, to how you change the traps out, how you do your inventory, how you do your ordering. Everything should be documented. And then no one needs you for anything because everything is at their fingertips. They can just either ask ChatGPT because you built out your own project or GPT, or it's in a Google Drive. And then you go on vacation and then everyone's happy. You make money while you're on vacation, and it's a beautiful thing. There's nothing more amazing than owning a business and going on vacation and not having to work. I still like to film and work and do shit like that. Like I still do all my coaching calls on vacation because I love them.
Nick's vacation is working.
But I'm doing it from like a sunny beach, right? I'm doing it from California or the Maldives or wherever. So to me, build a life you don't need a vacation from. And for owners out there listening, bigger doesn't mean better. You could have a cool ass micro salon that runs efficient that you actually are more profitable with than like a 50 chair salon or a 50 employee salon. Because if you're doing 10% profits with a bigger salon and you're doing $2 million a year, 10% of that's 200 grand. You could do 250, 300 out of a 5-chair salon doing hair 3 days a week with killers in there. So just to let you know, bigger isn't always better. James.
We got Brenda. I can't pronounce your last name.
Cool.
Following from Buffalo, I have 4 stylists, and they all come to me with their personal problems like I'm their therapist. I didn't sign up for this part. How do I fix that?
Unfortunately, that means they trust you, so that's a good thing. But let them know some boundaries. Like you have 4 like is it a 4-chair salon? That's part of being a mentor and ownership, honestly. Like it sucks, but you have to coach them. This way you don't hire idiots either. This is my best advice I can give you on your hiring process and your onboarding process. Make sure you're hiring people that align with you personally and your vision and your core values. So if they're upset because this guy and that guy they're dating and this is happening, and that's happening, they're making stupid decisions in life. Like, don't hire idiots. But you already hired them, so coach them on making better decisions. Because what happens outside the salon, it affects inside the salon, and now it becomes your problem. So you have to kind of teach them how to be a little smarter in their personal life. I know it's not the answer you probably wanted to hear, but it's just what we do as owners. Like, it's really difficult. Sometimes they come to you with personal shit and you give them advice and they don't listen to you. And then that personal shit trickles into the salon. So make sure you're crystal clear on, hey, you leave it out the door. It will still be waiting for you when you leave the salon, but you could not bring it in here. Make that part of your onboarding process. But find a way to maybe bring somebody else into the picture they could talk to, like an assistant manager or something. But honestly, as a leadership role, it's kind of what you're there for. James.
We got Stephanie Nguyen Park. My staff doesn't respect me because I came up with them. Now I'm the owner and they still treat me like a peer. Help.
All right. There's something called The 5 Levels of Leadership. It's a book by John Maxwell. Get that book. Because right now you just have the position of being the owner. Once you start actually adding value to their business and they can see it, and they're starting to transform into better hairstyles as a result of you and your leadership, you'll start moving up that ladder. You're also the identity. Like I said a little earlier, you need to step into that role of being the owner. And sometimes you got to, step into that role, and you're going to have the hard conversation. When someone says something backwards to you or a little sideways, excuse me, what'd you just say to me? Or repeat it back? Can you repeat that back to me? I wasn't sure if, I don't know what you actually said to me. I thought you said that. Get the fuck out of my salon. Like, once you crack the whip one time, if that's the case, it's extreme. Trust me, people get whipped into shape real quick. So if it's happening like that, that was an extreme version. If they're just treating you like peers, let them know, hey, inside the salon, this is how we're doing things. Right? And set the standard straight, re-interview them again, like rehire them again, like do that whole process so they understand what you're doing as an owner for the business to help elevate their career. You're in a really difficult position, and it happens to a lot of people. I'll be honest with you. It's really tough to break out of that role. It's not impossible, but you can do it 100% by showing up like the owner you need to. And then the second that they act and treat you like a peer, you pull them aside privately, Like, hey, I love you. I think you're amazing. Outside of here, I know, we worked together for so many years, but when we're in the salon, like, I don't ever speak to you any differently. So I don't need you to speak to me any differently. Have those hard conversations. James,
We got
hope that answer helped. That's a tough one, but the 5 levels of leadership, get that book. That would really, it's hard for me to unpack it on a 2-minute conversation. If like we had a one-on-one strategy call, I could definitely give you a much more in-depth answer.
We have Monique Lawson. My landlord just raised rent 40%. I feel like I'm drowning. Do I downsize or push through?
40% is a good amount. I don't think you could raise your prices 40% and make up for it. I would renegotiate that deal with him. Take a look at your lease, see if he can even do that. Let him know, hey, I'm drowning right now, but like this 40% increase is not gonna work for us. And if he can't lower the rent, I would start looking for a new space. But don't downsize right now. If you can afford the 40% increase by being more productive in the salon and by increasing revenue and profits without drowning, like do it the right way, then keep it. Like, are you 100% booked? Are you maxed out? Does everyone rebook their appointments? Do you have a great referral system? You got 5 stars on Google. Are you booked out for 6 months with every single one of your stylists? If you're at full capacity and you maxed out everywhere and you're still struggling, then it's time to change locations or downsize. But if you have room to grow still, and even at that 40% increase in your rent, if it doesn't chew up too much of your profit, then you're good. But if it does, then you have to get out of there. Guys, rents like these, that's a 40% increase is insane. Like, do you guys know what 40% is? Like, if you're like, let me just do the math on that real quick because I don't want to mess this up. But
$40 on $100.
yeah, I'm gonna say, let's say your rent is $4,200 plus 40%. That went up like $1,600. That's substantial in a month. But let's take that 1,600, right? Let's divide that by 4.3. So it went up 372 a week. Doable, right? 40% sounds a lot. Now, if your rent's $80,000 because you're in Manhattan, completely different conversation. But at 372, that's one extra full highlight a week, and you're covered, right? So it's definitely doable. I would, when you have big increases like that with numbers, break them down to bite-sized, digestible amounts, and then figure out what is the service you provide. How many of those services do you need to provide in order to make up that extra income? And then it becomes like an easier number for you to tackle. So like right now, it's extra $1,600. If your rent was $4,200, by the way, if your rent's like $2,000 to 40% increase, obviously the numbers are gonna the numbers will change, but it could be one full highlight a week. That's all you got to do. So focus on getting that new client in, and then you're covered. James, next question.
We got Westwood. Nick, could you go over that red envelope idea from yesterday's live stream?
Ooh, you're gonna have to watch that, my friend. It's on YouTube, right?
Yep, it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. That's a dirty little secret in my community. So I'll do a quick little 30-second recap on that. You're going to have some kind of a fun envelope, winner in every envelope. Scratch offs are in there. Blowouts are in there. Haircuts are in there. Grand prize is $1,000, whatever it may be. They have to revisit the salon again in order to open it. They can't open it at home. You give it to every client when they leave. And let's say for Christmas, it's a Christmas gift. Every client. Guess what? They have to open it in January, before January 30th, or it's void. So it gets them to come back in your slowest month. So if you guys want to really learn that in detail, join the Level Up Academy, because I do like a whole hour masterclass on that. It's a game changer too. Like, it's crushing people's retention rate.
Balayage or Boss Lady Blondes. I promoted my best friend to manager, and now our friendship is ruined. Is there a way to fix that?
Yeah. Sit her down as your best friend and be like, hey, I think you're an amazing best friend. I think this is affecting our relationship. And I wasn't clear on what my expectations were. I didn't set you up properly. So it's 100% my fault. This is not a demotion from my best friend, but this is going to be a change of role in our salon. And I think that I value our friendship more than I value your role in our business. And I don't want to lose that because it's really important to me. So we're going to have to change like your role here and get somebody else in, because I don't want this to affect our relationship. Just be honest with her. And if you did everything right and you set her up properly and you had the position agreement and you had your weekly agenda where you sat with her every week to review what she was doing and you inspected what you expect and you delivered like on your end of the deal as an owner to be a good owner, and she just failed as a manager, then it's on her and she has to understand it. But if you failed as a leader to really set her up properly, then it's on you. You take the blame. You let her know, hey, you got to get out of this position or just fix it. That way you're crystal clear on what you expect of her.
We got Gail Hutchinson. I'm 58 and been doing this for 32 years. The passion is gone. Is it too late to get it back, or should I just sell?
No, not at all. I actually have something called the Passion Focused Salon, the Passion Focused Salon Owner Blueprint Playbook. It's one of my PDFs I send to people through Instagram. Message me on Instagram. I'll send it over to you. But no, it's never too late. You want to make a list of all the things that excite you about this career and all the things that don't excite you. Get a sheet of paper, draw a line in the middle, right? Things excite me, things that don't excite me. List out all the things about your business that don't, all the things that you love doing. Look at that piece of paper. The things that you don't love doing, delegate to everybody else. Don't do them. Or if there's things you don't do, but there's things about your business that you don't like, then end those things happening in your business. Now you look at the things you do like to do. Make sure that's all you're doing on your calendar. It's that simple, I promise you. And you'll love your life again. That's the easiest way to tell you how to fix it. Or go to the Elite Success Cycle in the Level Up Academy and watch that lesson.
We got Jess in the chat.
Which Jess?
Next door, Jess.
Oh, LaFrere.
Yeah.
What up, Jess? She should be going live in the color room.
She should be. We have Braid Queen Nia. Do you think salon owners should still take clients or focus 100% on the business?
I think, depending on how, this is a multi-layered question. They should focus 100% on the business because you're a business owner now. Unless you have to do hair because you love doing hair and it's a smaller salon and you don't have the capacity of employees to pay the bills and build wealth with. So if you're in a micro salon, you may still have to do hair 2 or 3 days a week in order to make the money you want to make. But what's your freedom number? Like if you want to make 500 grand a year and you have a 4-chair salon and you don't do hair, that might be a challenge. So this is why the personal economy is so great. Like if you were to stop doing hair with a 4-chair salon and you do a split week schedule, a Monday, Wednesday, Friday team, a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday team, you're truly dialed in as an owner. Each person on that shift of 4 is fully booked out. So let's crunch some numbers here. So we're going to go, you got 8 people total now, and they're doing $3,000 a week. Okay. That's $24,000 a week out of your 4-chair salon. Let's go flat 50% commission to make numbers easy. So we're going to go times 50. I could do that math, 1,200, but so now it's $12,000, right? Now you got $12,000. Pay your expenses out of that. Let's say your rent is, I don't know, call it $3,000 for the month, minus $3,000. You do parts and labor, so you're not worried about color. You have a front desk expense. You got little minor expenses here, so we'll call it like another for the month. I'm gonna drop another $3K out of there, right? Minus $3,000. That's savagely, by the way. So it's $6,000. So I'm sorry, that's $6,000 for the week. Sorry. So we're looking at times 4.3. So yeah, so you're gonna have $25,000 months. I'm gonna do those numbers one more time. 24,000 times 4.3. There we go. It's $100,000 a month. Now let me just do this real quick. Sorry guys, I messed up that math. So we're going to take out your rent, 3,000, minus your other front desk manager. So you are at $97,000. Let's divide that by 50%. Yeah, so I just screwed all that math up real quick. So let's just take that from the top again. Because I have the new calculator on the iPhone and it's screwing me up. So 24,000 for the week times 4.3. Okay, so times 50%. Now you're at 51,000 for the month. Now you take out you have parts and labor. And for those of you guys who don't know what that is, you're charging the color to the client. So this way it's not an expense for you. Now you're going to take out your rent, call it 3,000. Call your front desk, you pay them 1,000 a week for a mini manager. That's 4,000. Now you're at 44K. You got other expenses in there. I'm going to take out another 4,000 out of that. So you're at 40 grand for the month. So we're going to times that by 12. You're at $487,000. So it's possible with a 4-chair salon, a smaller salon, without you working behind that chair. It's you removed from the salon too, by the way. So it's possible to do that. It's not possible if you're still doing hair behind the chair, because you got to dial in everything: your email marketing, your new clientele coming through the door, your retention rate, leadership skills. So you're managing now 8 people in a smaller location. So that's one of the strategies I use for my smaller salons who want to expand. And they're like, Nick, I'm just like, the other space is so much more money. I'm like, I got to get more stylists. I'm like, why don't you just split your weeks up? Because everyone's part-time anyway. Dedicate a Monday, Wednesday, Friday team and a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday team to the salon. Then what you do is get everybody booked. Now you have 8 people. You increase your revenue without increasing your overhead, essentially. And you don't need a bigger space. And if you can manage this many people and then you go to a bigger space, keep the same system. So instead of 8 people, now you have 16 people. You go from 4 chairs to 8 chairs, and then so on and so forth. And you could have a really successful business that way. But hope that answered your question. Sorry about the mismatch in math, but yeah, it's possible to really make serious money as an owner if you think like an owner and move like an owner and operate like an owner, not a hairstylist. James. I forgot to add to that too. To the person for the last question. Now you have your salon dialed in. So what do you do with your free time? Because you're paying a manager. Then you create the curriculum or the digital program on you about how great you are at braiding or highlights or whatever it is that you do. Then you sell that thing. So you're selling that course. That's making an extra 10, 20,000 a month because you're teaching hairstylists your skill set. Then you have a Shopify store selling hair products. And then now you're making another 20, 30,000 a month off retail online. And so your salon's making you like 40 grand a month. You're doing 20,000 a month with digital product. You got 30,000 a month coming from products. Like, you are pretty successful at that point. It's called your personal economy, ladies and gentlemen. It's part of what I teach.
We got Cuts and Color Cassie. My staff talks about me behind my back. I hear them. How do I address that without blowing everything up?
It's already blown up. Like, if you have to have the conversation with all of them. This is the hardest thing in the world to do. Pull the person aside, the ringleader, and be like, hey, listen, I think you're a great hairstylist, and I just want to let you know, I know you say this about me. I'm not going to ask you if you're saying, I know you're saying, because I heard you. It's got to end. I'm not going to fire you right now. Like, you should fire everybody, but like, I'm not going to fire you. I think you're amazing. I don't know why you're doing it. I would like to know, actually, I want to know why you feel this way. I'm just curious. Have the conversation with the person and then wait for the answer. Pull each person aside one by one, all on the same day too. So this way, like, they can't, like, literally one person after the other, after the other, after the other. Or you can do one big meeting with everybody. Like, hey guys, like, honestly, like, I love you all. I think you're great. I'm doing the best I can as an owner. But what really hurts me is when I hear you say this, this, and this about me. And I'm hoping that I heard it wrong. But I just want to let everybody know, like, if you have something to say to me, please say it right now to me and do that in front of everybody. And then see who says something, because I bet you no one will say shit to you. Like, all right, moving forward, if I do hear anything, I want to let you guys know, I love you, but you will not work here anymore. This is why it's so important that you have an influx of people wanting to join your salon team every single week. Because then you just get rid of people and then you have new people come in. But it's up to you to be a good leader. Like, it's up to you to honestly, like, where did it go wrong? Where did they feel that I was okay? Are you making promises that you can't keep? Like, let's first, before we blame other people, let's take a look at ourselves and see why it's happening. So it's either a people problem or a process problem. What's your process for handling things like this so that you don't have to blame the people? And if you have a good process in place and you're a good leader and you show up on time, you do the things you say you're going to do, and there might be a person on your team that's a little jealous, then it's time to take a look at the person and get rid of them. All right.
We have Amanda Castellano. I wonder if she's related to the mob boss, Paul Castellano. Nick, have you ever had a bad day where you wanted to quit, and what got you through?
Bourbon. No, I'm kidding. I don't drink that. I don't drink like that anymore. Yeah, I've had, as a salon owner, I've had probably more bad days than good days. 100%. Like, there's been days that, like, I would just want to let go of the wheel on the highway, just see what happens, like in the movie Fight Club. Just send it into the woods. Trust me, it's normal. Like, there's plenty of days you wanted to quit. A lot of times as a stylist too, it was really when I was still doing hair behind the chair, because I didn't have the capacity to take care of the things that needed to get taken care of because I was so busy behind the chair. The owner thing was just falling apart. So, yeah, but I would say in recent years, once I stopped doing hair, those bad days got less and less. And so what gets me through it is I know where I'm going. I know my vision. I'm true to myself. And just know we're all going to be dead one day. None of this fucking matters. So don't take it too serious. Like honestly, like in 100 years from now, nobody even fucking knows who I am. No one. No one's going to know who you are. Like, let me ask you a question. When you turn the light bulb on, when you turn the light switch on in your house, do you actually think of Thomas Edison or whoever invented the light bulb? Like, do you think of the person who invented electricity? Like, no, we never do. And we use their thing they invented every single day. So don't beat yourself up so much. It's not that serious. So make sure you're crystal clear on what you want your salon to look like. Like I said in the beginning of this call, create your culture contract, your position agreement, all that stuff. Have all that dialed in. Anyone who's making your days bad, get rid of them out of your life. And protect your days. Like, the cool thing is really mastering your calendar and managing your energy. So if you're in the weeds right now, it's like, I can't get control over anything, go to your calendar. What I used to do was every 90 days, I would book a couple days off to reflect. And so whether I did clients those days or not, it was blocked off. So I knew that when I was in a growth phase and I had to put my head down, dial down, and like really work 7 days a week, I knew that I had a block of time in my calendar that was blank, left for me to really reflect on what's going on. And when you're in the middle of this and you're like really trying to grow a salon, you're trying to grow a business, and you're just fucking pissed at the world. You're like, I hate this. You have those days to reflect on what went wrong, what's going on, why aren't you happy? And then have the ability to make the changes you need to, because now you're not in the weeds with the rest of the salon day-to-day stuff, because you have your schedule blocked off. The other end of your calendar is everything that you love to do and that's important to you. Set a time and a date for it in your calendar. So it's happening either every day or every week. So if it's time with your kids, time with you, time for yoga, time for whatever, it's blocked off in your calendar. Then what you do, you have all the important stuff blocked off, then you go in and you fill in the other stuff, the work stuff. Anything that fulfills you in life, make sure you're not neglecting it. Make sure it's in your calendar, it's set, and you don't punt it. You actually go do the thing. And so if you do that, if you do more of the things that you love to do and less of the things you hate to do, life gets pretty good. But hope that wasn't too much of a rant. James, was that a rant?
Or was it okay? A little bit, but
it was good. All right.
It's your show. You can do whatever you want.
I had a really good workout this morning, so I'm like extra spicy, which is why I'm firing every one of these conversations.
Balayage by Beth. I feel guilty making money when my stylists complain about their pay. Is that normal?
Yes. If you're a human being, it's 100% normal. You're not a jerk off. Yes. That's the problem with every owner, right? That's why you give so much commission to people and you realize you're going broke now. Are they showing up the way they should? Is your payment structure set up in a way that really makes them successful? Like, is all of that in place? And if it is, and they're not living up to their end of the deal, then have the conversation with them and teach them how they can make more money with your current commission structure. Make sure your pay structure is set up in a way that they can truly benefit and make money. And if they're taking every other weekend off to go on a trip, it's on them. That's why I love the rev share split. It's it's my business model that I created. It's an independent stylist. They're on a rev share split. It's 100% compliant. All you people out there who say 1099s are illegal, you're fucking stupid. So is your accountant. It's not. You just structure it the right way. And you have a rev share split. Money goes into an account that you don't own, and then it gets split up for the stylist and for you, and you could pay them a higher commission, but they have to show up a certain way. You support them with the marketing and the salon and the front desk, and you do parts and labor, and then you guys have an agreement on who's going to do what. They make more money. They now are able to write off a lot more stuff in their taxes rather than being a W-2 employee. They can write off their car. They can write off their advertising, their shears, their blow dryer, their extensions they bought. They can write off dinners. And if they go on a vacation, but it's a business trip, they visited a salon or taught a class there, guess what? It's a write-off. Each kid, up to, I think, $15,600 this year, who's helping them with Instagram, who's doing their editing for them. They can pay those kids. That money goes in the kid's bank account. Guess what you buy out of there? All the shit you need for your kids. So that's a write-off for you as well. They don't pay taxes on it. You have to just truly become a student of money to coach them on money. Because if your stylists are happy and they don't feel like they're broke, they're going to show up better. So there's another layer of being an owner that is required of you to make sure that your team is fulfilled in that area. And if they're not showing up for themselves, then you have to coach them to show up for themselves and show them what it's like to make more money in this industry. Like, hey, if you do this, this, and this is what I did behind the chair. This is how I made so much money. But people just like being spoon-fed. People like having handouts. This is why there's so many government programs and people are still broke. Like, they don't take advantage of the unemployment by being on unemployment and learning a skill and then doubling down. So when they come off that unemployment, they're in a better position than they were when they went in there. No, the people get lazy. This is why all the government handouts and all that bullshit doesn't really work. Now I'm just going on a rant about politics here, but most of the people, when they're when they're employees, they have employee mindsets. It's always about, what are you going to do for me? And they never think about showing up for themselves. So it's up to you to help them show up for themselves. So if you're watching this and you're a hairstylist right now and you're pissed because you don't make as much money as your owner, well, guess what? They fucking took the money out to do the build out. They're paying the lease. Like, if you guys have a bad month, it doesn't come out of your pocket. Yes, you make less money because you did less people, but that rent doesn't change. So if you want to make owner money, then become an owner. Take the risk. So you are entitled to make that money because you took the risk, but you have to show up as an owner to really support them. All right, James, we're going to wrap up a couple more questions.
Trust to impress. What do you do when you're jealous of your own employees living their life while you're drowning?
Ask that question one more time.
So what do you do when you're jealous of your own employees living their life while you're drowning?
You have the ability to do the same. Why are you drowning? Do the things that excite you and love you. This is like, you took on the role of an owner. You could enjoy your life too. You're choosing not to have the skills that are required of you to be an owner that enjoys their life. You have the skills of being a stylist because you probably were a good one, but now you're an owner. But you never stacked on those skills. This is why personal development and getting into a really good program, like a coaching program or a community, is so valuable, because you're going to learn from somebody who's actually done it before. Like, I've been where you were before. I 100% have been where you were, and I feel your pain. But what needs to change in your life so you don't feel this way anymore? It's going to be you. You need to change. Become a better owner. I'm not saying a better owner to your team, a better owner to yourself. You have a salon, you had a vision, and it doesn't mean you have to work 7 days a week and grind it out all the time. Delegate to elevate. Learn how to delegate. Learn how to lead. Put systems in place. And then you won't be drowning anymore. Like, you just don't have the skills yet. It's like when you're a brand new hairstylist and you have a client walks in with a ponytail like this, and she's a level 4 and wants to be a platinum blonde, and she has to be out of there in 3 hours, and you're drowning, and then you ran out of the developer that you needed, and the bleach is gone, and it's like, it's chaos. That's where you're at right now. But as an experienced stylist, you know that there's a bleach over here and a cut, and like you could make James, I think I just died here. But I still got sound, right?
Yeah, you still have sound.
So that's what you're going to do. You're going to just become a better owner, and then you're good to go. The thing overheated. Let me see if I can fix it real quick. Yeah, we're good. Go back to the computer. Shut that. Let's see if we got it. I think we're back on. James, you're back on?
No.
Nope. Plug in what you got to plug in.
I Everything's plugged in the same. Now we're on.
We're on.
Oh, we're off
I
again.
took it out because you said we weren't on.
Now we're on.
All right. We're on?
Yep.
We're back. All right. So that's what you need to do. Become a better owner. Reach out to me at Nick Mirabella on Instagram. Go to apply.nickmirabella.com. Guys, don't drown. Don't suffer. Don't stop fucking filling out 50-page workbooks that you think is going to grow your salon. It's not going to work. Learn from somebody who's done it before. I promise you it will change your entire life. So if you're on Instagram, make sure you follow. If you're on Facebook, make sure you do follow. YouTube, subscribe. If you're listening to the podcast and you had a question, shoot me a message at Nick Mirabella on Instagram. You guys are amazing. I'll see you all later.